Hi YouTube, this is the Bushcraft case I've been working on. You'll see this part in my earlier videos, but now I've actually fitted the torch to it, the MiniLite. It's a nice fit. There you go. But over time this will loosen up a little bit, and then if it was too loose, what you would do is get some of that paracord elastic that they do, thread it through here, the hole, and then loop it, knot it, and then you would hook it over the top, so if this was loose and you was running, this wouldn't come off. That's why I fitted the Chicago screws. These are the 5mm Chicago screws on here, and then when you put the add-ons, these now are 10mm Chicago screws. So that's what I've done now. This is for Bushcraft only, and I didn't get it, so I'll just have to show you. Got my striker. It goes on there. That's come up really well. It's a basket weave stamp again. And because I have a friend that wants to go into leather work, I'm just going to show him and yourselves how I do things like this. So I'll just put that up there for now. This is going to be for a ferro rod, but it won't be for this ferro rod because, as you can see, this is just too big. And I did say in my last video I've got some American black walnut. I've just ordered a fire steel, a ferro rod, sorry. There's a 140mm. It's going to hang out 10mm, but that's okay, because what I'll be doing when I use my ferro rods on my stuff is I'm only going to use this part of the ferro rod and just work my way around, and then get this end down into a point, and then just keep working it, and then I'll work my way up the ferro rod. I don't want to be going the full ferro rod because it just make this thinner, and then if you see me earlier videos with the ferro rod, I've made a holder for it. This would just be so loose, so I figure if I start from here, it'll always be a nice fit, and then just work my way up the ferro rod until it gets shorter and shorter and shorter. That's the way I'm going to do it. So yeah, when the new ferro rod comes in, I can make up with a walnut handle. As you can see, I've marked it. That came out at 45mm. So when that goes and gets stitched, that's going to be a nice fit. Be quite tight. So you can see there. So that's 45mm. And then this is 15mm. So I added 30mm to this. which has come out at 75mm. I've put I used the stitching groover. This is sub 15mm. Then I use the stitching iron to punch the holes in, 4mm stitching iron. Then if you see here, now I'm ready for stamping. You mark corner to corner. Can't really see, but you can see my little outline. I would start off with basket weaves myself because they're quite easy to use. I have 3 of them here. If you're doing a big item, I would use the bigger basket weave. This one here. Then you have this one, which is a smaller one. This comes in the set when you buy the 20. This will come in the set. So you have that one. But then I've got this one in a set of 6. If you look, the lines go at an angle. I like this one. I'm getting used to it now. As you can see, it's chamfered. This one's straight and this one's got a chamfer. And then what you do is I'll bring you up. You would set it on the line, excuse me. You'd set it on the line here. Once you've punched that one in, where that's got a little chamfer, it sits in the hole, and then you'd punch the other side, and then you'd go like this, and then because you'll have a little bit here, you would just put that in and go at an angle and just tap it so you get a little marking in there, and then you'd go to your next one, do the whole line, and that sets you up for doing the rest of the piece. You have to wet this, and what I've been doing is I use a sponge, distilled water, and then I wet it, and when you go over it the first time it soaks it straight in. I keep wetting it until the water goes in very slowly, and then once it goes in very slowly I know it's sort of ready to go. I shall stamp this one up. If you use a clear coat on something like this piece of leather won't be any good, because as you can see it's got all markings in it, so these markings will show up unless you can clean this off. But I'll be dyeing this the same colour, and then that will sit on there, and that will house the slightly smaller ferro rod. But yeah, it'd be because as I've got to wet it to stamp it, I'll have to leave it until tomorrow to dry, and then once that's totally 100% dry I can dye it. Then I'm using brown, and then you've got the edging tool. You would, not these parts here, but you would edge these parts just in there like that side and this side as well, and then you would run the edger up the sides here, but not on the insides, because when you glue it these two will meet. So yeah, Then to put the markings on, this is an awl. I use this to put this marking on. And then to get my widths, I use this tool. And that gives me my lines. Once I've done the basket weave all the way down, I then get this tool. I go in the corners, put one in each corner, like that, and then I come up about sort of halfway, do the other side, because then you might have to blend this then the last one in, and it'll be the same for this corner as well. Come up halfway and then blend the middle one in and do that, and then that neatens everything up. So I'm going to show you here, yeah, that neatens everything up like that. Then there's another tool, little round one, which I haven't got here, where you've got this and that's sat in there. You can go around and tap the little round one inside, so you get this effect. But yeah, hope you like. But yeah, I should have this finished, well, it'll be in the week, because I've got to wait for the ferro rod to come. And then I'll fit a mosaic pin. Oh, and just one other thing, you can either buy once or you can buy twice. Don't buy this hammer. Okay, you'll get it for anywhere between £9 and £21. Okay, this is 11-ounce hammer. It's no good for stamping whatsoever, but what it is good for is if you've got a snug fit for your mosaic pins, it's really, really good to put your mosaic pins in, and your paracord lanyard line tube. So just find yourself a 16-ounce mole they call them, and buy once. It's a good make, but that's 16 ounces. And then you can get the 32-ounce mole, which is good. I've just used it to put me stitching holes in. I do use it for small stampings when I'm doing stampings, but if you was doing a large piece, you would more than want to use the 16-ounce. But yeah, I hope this helps people. And these cutters are really, really good. That's the name of this one. It isn't actually on the tool itself, so I actually wrote the name of it so I knew about the blades to get spare blades. But these come in extremely sharp, and it's excellent for leather. And if you've got a good straight edge that sits right up nice to it, you just do a light pass a couple of times, and then you get a lovely straight edge. But yeah, you'll see this all done up in the week. Okay then, thank you very much for watching.